lot on the line. Now, obviously, if the Ravens win the early game, the Steelers can't win the division, and they are hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. But there's still things to play for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and obviously they don't like Cincinnati, so I don't think anybody wants to see Cincinnati win on that Pittsburgh sideline. So even if they don't have a chance to win the division, they're going to be playing for a lot of pride. That's how Mike Tomlin's teams work. On the other side of things, for Cincinnati, they have the chance to set the tone because they need to win and need some help. But they're the last game that we have here on Saturday. So they also would need the Denver Broncos to lose, and they would also need the Miami Dolphins to lose in order to make the playoffs. But they get to handle their business and put those other teams a lot of pressure on them, I should say, going into Sunday if they win this game. So they know that they're going to want to do that as well. Matchup that matters here, Carmen. What do you got for this game?
Yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh is going to want to play spoiler for their division opponent. And yes, the Bengals need help, but what they can control is winning this game. And you look at the strength of that Bengals team, and it's obviously the offense. It's obviously Joe Burrow playing at an MVP level, though he probably won't get that consideration given the other deficiencies of the Cincinnati Bengals, unfortunately, and how much it's based on team performance. But Ja'Marr Chase, T. Higgins, how do the Pittsburgh corners defensive, like their secondary in general, how do you deal with those two guys? Because there's obviously a lot of attention paid on Ja'Marr Chase. There always is. There has been all season long. But we saw what a guy like T. Higgins is capable of. Not only, because he's the secondary receiver and he's the beneficiary of some of those more favorable matchups, but because he is trying to get paid, he's trying to individually, he has all the incentives in the world to A, try and just get paid by anybody, but B, I mean, Joe Burrow has been even vocal about how he wants T to still be on this team and he wants the team to retain T. And so he is going to try to feed the ball to T. Higgins. And you look on the other side of things and you look at this Steelers coverage unit, 53.5 coverage grade, that ranks 24th in the league. They're 10th in EPA per player allowed, but 20th in completion percentage allowed. They're tied for 5th in interceptions, but they're tied for 4th in dropped interceptions. So the 28th in forced incompletions, they're not really affecting the ball outside of those interceptions. And you look at Minkah Fitzpatrick as the one that's leading DBs in coverage grade at 65.7. It's just him and Deshaun Elliott that are above a 56 among Steelers defensive backs. So this is a unit that can be taken advantage of, especially when you have this such a high-powered offense and a motivated quarterback for multiple reasons and motivated receivers for multiple reasons. Not only team success, like I said, staying in the playoff race, but also, I mean, Ja'Marr Chase is due a contract. T. Higgins wants a contract. All of that kind of stuff plays into how hard you play, and you've got a quarterback who wants to get his guys paid too.
So I had two options here, and I figured that you were probably going to go with one or the other. So since you picked the Cincinnati wide receiver and Pittsburgh cornerback matchup that matters, I'll go to the offensive line and defensive line. So it's the offensive line, specifically the offensive tackles for the Cincinnati Bengals. Marius Mims, Orlando Brown Jr., both of those guys dealing with injury. Orlando Brown Jr., I don't believe has practiced yet this week. I think Marius Mims might have been limited in practice if he has practiced at all this week. And we'd known that the interior of Cincinnati's offensive line has also been a point of weakness for them throughout the season. You're going up against the best defensive line in the NFL, one that is licking their wounds after they really were not able to be productive at all against the Kansas City Chiefs on the third game of what was 3 games in 11 days for the Steelers. And so that is a major matchup. Is this team is going to be pinning their ears back. They're going to be trying to get after it. And Joe Burrow is a quarterback who plays well under pressure, but he's not the most mobile quarterback in the world. All due respect to the, 50-yard run or touchdown that he had against the New York Giants. We don't see that all the time with Joe Burrow. And so instead, when you get to pressure him, he's not as he's not as much of an escape artist, is what I was trying to say there, as some other quarterbacks. And Pittsburgh's been one of the best, if not the best, at getting after the passer throughout this season. So whether or not those offensive tackles for Cincinnati can even play, and if they do, how much less than 100% are they? That's, I think, going to be a big tell sign of who ends up winning this game and by how much. What about a plus factor here? What do you got?
I wish I could swear, because the GD Cincinnati defense, obviously, what we've been talking about all season, Trev.
Yes, yes.
Like, just don't let up points. Trey Hendrickson has done beautifully. Pass rush grade of 90.1. That ranks 7th in the league among qualified pass rushers. Second most sacks among edges with 14. Only player on the Bengals with a pass rush grade of over 69. Nice. The pass rush win rate, 20.7%. The next closest on the Bengals roster, 10.9%. So half of Trey Hendrickson's pass rush win percentage. That's just something that it's been a glaring need all season long. Trey Hendrickson can't do everything by himself, and that especially comes out not only in the pass rush, but when you're looking at the run defense. 65.1 grade as a team, that ranks 17th, 28th in EPA per play allowed, 23rd in run stops. And again, just a testament to the fact that Trey Hendrickson can't do it all himself in a team game. And so I really need the plus factor for this, as it's going to be, if the Cincinnati Bengals move forward, is just how well the defense can match the intensity of the offense, how much they can limit their opponent, because they know that the offense can score points. That's what's so maddening about this whole situation. The fact that the Bengals do not control their own destiny into the playoffs is just, it's so funny because, I mean, this was obviously Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase's college, but like, it reminds me of LSU last year with Jaden Daniels and Malik Neighbors and BTJ. Like, that offense not winning a national championship because that defense was just a sieve is criminal. And that's how I feel about the Cincinnati Bengals. And I haven't been able to quit them all season because they're so much fun to watch offensively. So be a buddy, defense. Step up.
I think along those same lines, this is a little bit more of big picture, but you want Russell Wilson to play well in this game. Like, you need some of those big time throws. And over the last 3 games, so in this tough 3-game stretch, he's had 3 big time throws compared to 4 turnover worthy plays. The Russell Wilson that they've gotten over the last month is not one that is probably going to win you any playoff game, whether you were the 3 seed or the 4 seed or whatever it is, or whether you are a wild card team on the road. So he has to play better in this game. And it's a defense that you would hope that he plays better against. I think on your side of things, you would like for the Cincinnati Bengals to obviously step up and finish the season strong. I think for the Steelers, no matter what, they're going to be in the playoffs. No matter what, we're going to see another game of Russell Wilson, of course, hoping that he's going to be healthy. You need to see better of him this week. He needs to be able to put his best foot forward, because sometimes in the playoffs, we have seen this before. It's not always about the team that has run the regular season wire to wire. Sometimes it's just the team that gets hot. And this defensive line has the ability to do that. Does Russell Wilson in this offense, even with them being boom or bust, can you get that boom? Can you get enough of that? To quote the Costco family, can you get enough of the boom here from this passing offense to be able to make some noise in the playoffs? We will see. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like and subscribe the video. And if you don't have a PFF Plus subscription, you can get one to see all the premium stats that we talked about here on the show, plus the expert betting and fantasy advice over at subscribe.pff.com. The description is also right below. So if you are not a PFF Plus subscriber, you can come one today.